Yes, okay. Thank you so much. Uh, Good morning, everyone. Today, I'm ready to deliver a topic on climate change impact on the formation of the cyclogenesis process over the arid and semi-arid regions of South Asia. It is exploring emerging vulnerabilities and the meteorological shapes around the South Asia arid and semi-arid region. So we will go to the next slide. And what we will discuss on this session. First of all, we will discuss on the concept and then cyclogenesis and its formation. Next, we will discuss on the risk assessment and vulnerability. Then we will discuss the ecological impact on the region and then restoration and management part. And last, we will conclude the session with the conclusion. Okay, so in this image, you will see the background image. It is showing the south west part of the Indian region, and the westernmost northwestern part of the India is facing this kind of severe weather activities. And here I had given two cyclone images, and it defining the different direction. So we don't know the how the cyclone will move and towards which directions it will move. So in Arabian Sea, like this, it may go through the north westward or the north northward or in the northeast part. And if we focus on the Bay of Bengal part, then the cyclone will move through towards the eastward, northeastward, and the northwestward, and the north south part also. So let's start the session in detail. Okay, now are you ready to see the transformation where this image is showing the desert region and the greenery region? So when these two are combining, it will create a transformation, the image. But the thing is that in arid and semi-arid regions of South Asia, such as part of Pakistan, Northwest India, and Afghanistan, traditionally not known for the frequent cyclonic activity. But in the recent days, shifts in temperature and sea surface warming in adjacent oceans, that is the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, are responsible for changes in wind shear. Now, the wind shear and making conditions more conducive to cyclonic formation. But how? And another question is, do you believe that the climate of South Asia is changing? You have many doubts and queries on this question, but I will say the effective result in the next slide. See how it is changing. Here I have given a land cover map of 2005 and 6, which is scale is 250K from the Rajasthan state, India. And the land cover map of annual map of 2023 and 24. See the differences, the vegetation indices. This is the third desert in Rajasthan state in India. So how this is transforming? Here you see the less greenery effect, though it is a 250K scale, but you will find there are several changes. And in case, different scientists have given a tremendous work on their study. They have shown this is the real picture of the third desert where the greenery has been growing very fast due to the climate change. Now, how it is changing? As a part of the cyclonic activity, first the temperature and the humidity and the physiography will create a precipitation or rainfall in a particular region. And you see, when the shift is going on, the cyclone, there are different types of cyclones. That is, pressure depends on the pressure system, that is cyclone and anticyclone. Pressure condition at the center will, in case of cyclone, it is low, and the northern hemisphere, the wind direction would be anti-clockwise, and in southern hemisphere, it will be clockwise. So in case of anticyclone, the pressure condition of the center will be obviously high, and the direction of the wind will be clockwise, and in the northern hemisphere, and the southern hemisphere will be anti-clockwise. So if you see in the first month, the data is showing that the shifts in India's monsoon pattern. Here in this map, you will find the excessive 42% excessive rain in Rajasthan state, which is a dry state in India. It is getting 42%, till now 42% rainfall. And over the northern region of India part and the Pakistan part also, you will heard the news that there are many more events going on due to the climatic event. So how the cyclone is forming? Cyclone is forming in several stages. First stage is warm moisture moves over the ocean. And in the early stage, the second part is this water vapor rises into the atmosphere. Third stage is as the water vapor rises, it cools and condenses into liquid droplets. Condensation in the fourth stage, it is condensation process. It releases heat into the atmosphere and making the air lighter, and it goes through the till the height. The last stage, the warm air continues to rise with moisture from the ocean taking the place and creating more wind over the region. It's the first stage of a condensation process. And this process will defining the cyclonic process. And then when we are focusing on the changing climate dynamics, the climate change is altering global atmospheric and oceanic patterns. Warming oceans, especially the Arabian Sea, increase the evaporation, and higher sea surface temperature provides more storm energy to create the cyclone in a arid or semi-arid region. Increase the atmospheric moisture supports cyclonic development. Next, we will find the arid and semi-arid regions of South Asia. So, these are the area of southwest part, and this is called the hyper-arid. The dark part of this map is defining the hyper-arid, where the rainfall is less than 25 millimeters, and the lighter part is called the arid region. These are the arid region part, which is called which is defining by the less than 100 millimeter of rainfall, and by the more darker than the dense darker semi-arid region, which will receive the 100 to 200 millimeter rainfall annually. So you can see the less hyper-arid region, the less rainfall, but in recent days you will find that there is more rainfall is happening in the recent time. So what is the cause behind this? Now we will find the different climatic regions in South Asia as per the Pulsar research article in 2014. The author had shown that the different climatic region is shown in this map and the climatic zones. The red mark is the tropical west, and just we will focus on the yellow part, that is desert and steppe. So over the whole Indian and subcontinent, around the Indian subcontinent area, it is called, defining here. And this map is showing the intertropical zone where the tropical cyclones mainly form. So yellow part is the desert part in this map. And if I say that different climate regions of South Asia are shifting, do you have any idea it is right or wrong? So we will go to the next slide. The cyclogenesis and its formation. But how it is forming? Tropical cyclone, one of the most devastating natural calamities in the world. And how it is forming? Water vapor from the ocean surface and comes into the contact with the mass of cloud there and forming clouds. The second, when the temperature is stabilized in 26 degrees centigrade on the ocean surface and as well as the land masses, then this temperature will increase the evapotranspiration process, and the column of low pressure develops at the center, winds from around the column, and this way the warm air will go to height. As pressure in the central column, the ice weakness, the speed of the wind around it increases. In case of mature stage, the warm air goes through the height, and then again it is cooled down after 6 kilometers. Then again it comes down as cold air descends, and then forming it the cyclonic eye, and it is rooted around the surface of the ocean if it is developed in the ocean surface, or when it is developed in the landmass surface. So in the mature stage, we will see this type of cyclonic eye is developed when the air circulation is revolving in the convective shell and high pressure area, and also supporting of the subsidizing cold air and rising warm air. Then it creates a heavy rainfall on a particular region, and it goes towards a direction where the high pressure is already established. So now the second type of cyclone is extratropical cyclone. Extratropical cyclone are referred as mid-latitude depression, temperate cyclones, frontal depression, wave cyclones, which is defining in this map as a black arrows. In these are the places where the extratropical cyclone found in northern hemisphere and in southern hemisphere. This way, the cyclone is moving. The green arrows showing the tropical cyclone movement. So in the eastern part of the South Asia, you will see how the cyclones are moving apart. In case of Indian Bay of Bengal case, this is go through this way or this way. It may be this way, and it as part of the Arabian Sea. So it will go through this way, or it may be this way, or it may be this way. So the recent climatic change event has given a first idea about the movement of any type of cyclones. Now, the categories of cyclonic disturbances over the North Indian Ocean are various five categories we have divided as per the research and the reports by the World Meteorological Organization. When the category wind speed will run to 190 to 153 kilometers, I mean there will be a minimal damage. And when the wind speed is 154 to 177 kilometers per hour, then the damage will be moderate. And wind speed when 178 to 208 kilometers, the extensive damage. Category 3 it will define. Category 4 is more devastating, where the wind blowing as per the 209 to 251 kilometers. And when it is category 5, the category 5, which is called the super cyclone, the wind speed will be the 252 kilometers per hour and more. And the devastation category is catastrophic. So as part of the different types of depression and the cyclonic category, the low pressure, it is called less than 31 kilometers. Depression is called 31 to 49 kilometers. Deep depression is called the 49 to 61 kilometer wind speed. And the cyclonic storm, that is 61 to 88 kilometers speed. And severe cyclonic storm, 88 to 170 kilometers per hour. And the very severe cyclone is 118 to 221 kilometers per hour. And the super cyclone will defining the wind speed more than 221 kilometers per hour. And you can realize the devastation power of this kind of super cyclone event. So as per my experience, based on cyclogenesis process and the variation of land surface temperature and the sea surface temperature, short distance tropical cyclone, which will stay 0 to 4 days, and it may form in ocean to ocean. It may, and the another category is ocean to landmass, when the formation in the ocean and it will go through the landmass, go towards the landmass. And number 3 is landmass to landmass, when the cyclone is forming in the landmass region and it will goes towards another landmass region based on the temperature parameters or the humidity. Another category is the long distance tropical cyclone. It will stay 0 to 15 days length from the first stage, or may increase the duration. It may be 15 or it may be 18 to 20 days. Depends on the energy it will collect from the sea surface temperature or the ocean, land surface temperature. And there are two subtypes, ocean to landmass and ocean to ocean. Now, if we see the current scenario of a major land-to-land cyclonic event that is happened on 7th September 2025. So 3 days before this lecture, you will see the temperature around the land masses, land surface temperature distribution, and the sea surface temperature region. Why there is developed a cyclone? Because due to the 3 consecutive low pressure zone created over this region, and this region is called the arid region of the South Asian part, right? So these 3 low pressure regions develop a landmass cyclone, where it is developed in this Gujarat and Rajasthan part, and it goes towards this. It will not longer than 4 days, but the devastating rainfall in the northern part of Gujarat state and the Rajasthan state, southern part of Rajasthan state, the heavy rainfall over the all over the Gujarat, the heavy rainfall occurred, and due to this heavy rainfall, there is flood-like situation happened. So three main elements: temperature, humidity, and rainfall will define the cyclonic parameters of a region. Now, the different type of cloud. So when the cloud is formed due to condensation process, these are the several kinds of cloud formation over any region. Nimbostratus. Nimbostratus is a cloud where it is featured as dark, featureless, and thick. This cloud produce continuous, moderate precipitation in the form of rain, snow, sleet over a wide area. They are typically associated with warm front. So, due to warm front, this nimbostratus cloud will form. And cumulonimbus, the largest and most powerful type of cloud, cumulonimbus cloud. This is the cumulonimbus cloud, and which is forming the severe weather conditions. It will cause heavy rain, which can lead to flooding, lightning and thunder, strong wind gusts and downbursts, large hail and tornadoes. This kind of cloud, that is cumulonimbus, is responsible for developing the cyclone. Altostratus and the altocumulus are the different types of clouds. Now, you can see in this image, the 8th September time, 11:30 morning, how the cyclone has been formed, and it moved towards northwest direction in part of the Pakistan. So move northwestward, and it's likely to move nearly northwestward as a deep depression across the southwest Pakistan and adjoining Rajasthan. I already previously discussed that there are several types of cyclone, depends on the its strength. So it's a land-to-land cyclone. It is formed in the land and ended up in the land. Where if the cyclone will form in the ocean and it will move through the landmass area, then it will call the ocean to landmass cyclone. Right. So you can see the current cyclonic depression. Now, the tropical cyclone requires a specific set of environmental conditions. What kind of this? The warm sea surface temperature, what is called the water temperature of at least 26.5 degrees centigrade, extending to a depth of 50 meters or more, provide the energy and moisture required for deep convection. And the another part is low vertical winds here, which will create the cyclonic pattern, and mid-tropospheric moisture, which will responsible for high humidity in the middle atmosphere, helps sustain thunderstorm development. Pre-existing disturbances, a low-level area of convergence, a tropical disturbance is necessary to initiate the process. And Coriolis effect, also a responsible element for developing a cyclone. So sufficient Coriolis forces needed to initiate and sustain the cyclonic rotation. Another elements are the air masses, different types of front, that is stationary front, cold front, warm front, and occluded front in cases of the cyclonic development. Now, you will see the intensity, frequency of cyclone and severe cyclone over the Bay of Bengal, landfalling over different coastal states during 1891 to 2022. As per the RMSC Delhi IMD report, you see the Regional Specialized Meteorological Center Tropical Cyclone in New Delhi, and they had defined the historical event, past historical event in the Bay of Bengal. See the density of the cyclone and the direction of the cyclone. This way, this way, this way, this way over the Indian region. And some parts are longer. That is called the long length cyclone, which is developed here and goes through this, and it will take 18 to 20 days to end up the cyclonic process. And if we see, when we are talking about the South Asian semi-arid and arid region, the main area is Arabian Sea. So frequency of the landfalling over different coastal areas is set 1891 1991 to 2020. These are the cyclone developed in this during this time period, and the direction of the cyclonic towards the land masses. So this is the northeastern part, northeastern movement, and these are the northwestern movement when it is goes through this way, and for the UAE part and the Oman, this area. Next, the real-time weather forecast application by IMD Delhi and Government of India has given this platform to realize the current situations and real-time monitoring of the cyclonic process or any other climatic event happening over the region. So you can see from the website. The tracks and movement of cyclones in duration, the 1965 to 2020, you will see the density of the cyclonic parameters. So individual frequency of various categories of landfalling tropical cyclones during pre-monsoon and the post-monsoon, and the year as a whole over the period of 1965 to 2020, as per the Mahapatra et al. 2021 research article. Based on this study, we'll see the cyclonic intensity in Bay of Bengal, how it is going through this. The another research article showing that the tropical depression in the light green color will like this, and the tropical storm, the darker green color, the category 1 to 2 hurricanes, this is orange, this is limited, and the major hurricanes, the pink color, these are the major hurricanes occur over the Bay of Bengal part. When we are talking about the death toll over Indian region and the PTC member countries, for tropical countries, panel on the tropical countries, member countries during 2010 to 23, you will see the Myanmar has caused the 145 deaths in the Mocha cyclone. And there are several cyclones named which will cause the death during this year. How many? So 145, the 2023. Though we have the advanced technological instruments and the software, but we are unable to protect the human being to death. So nowadays we are more focusing on the early warning system to reduce the human fatalities or the casualties. Next, so where it is going on? First part is this is the first part that is called the desertification process is going on in the 6,000 years ago when the Sahara, now the largest desert in the world, was grassland. 6,000 years ago, the Sahara was the grassland. But in case we are seeing that the desertification is going on as per the data source of the United Nations, and another part is going on due to the climate change, where the Saudi Arabia is turning arid desert sand into lush blooming soil. So we are due to climate change, it is naturally happening, and as the Saudi Arabia part, they are also creating greenery through the natural and artificial raining over the region. But the thing is that, are we well prepared for that? If the desert region will transform into the greenish region, then what will be the threat? Some newspaper giving very threatening information that Saudi Arabia man dies of food poisoning, 75 fall sick after eating at Riyadh restaurant. So the different kinds of viral and bacterial infections are observing in the region of not in Saudi Arabia. It is also happening in the Gujarat, in the Pakistan, in the Rajasthan state of India, and part of many South Asia countries. So why this is happening? Due to the annual mean temperature increasing, see the graph where the 2000 when the temperature is rising abruptly and dynamically to 2021. This data is going as the World Bank Climate Change Knowledge Portal. We had taken this graph, and it is showing that the temperature is rapidly increasing over the region. So these are the tropical cyclonic movement station, observation station. That is, this area was the typhoon April, January, and tropical cyclone October, May. Tropical cyclone movement is October, May. Tropical cyclone April to December, this way and this way, and also hurricane over global cyclonic distribution over the pre-monsoon and post-monsoon data. So distribution of cyclones in tropical region, how this happening. Now the another case, we will see the rapid rates of sea surface temperature increases observed in the northern Arabian Sea and the Pacific Ocean portion of the region as per the report by World Meteorological Organization, State of the Climate in Asia 2024. It is showing the high rise of oceanic temperature, and it will cause this type of graph. It will affect that the temperature is continuously increasing day by day. So this will happening the increasing of temperature, increasing the melting the ice, and increasing the cyclonic event, and increasing the also uprising the water level of the sea. Now, in case of the Pacific region and the Indian Ocean part of the WMA region, two ocean areas show the overall ocean warming as per the report of World Meteorological Organization. This report also is showing that the Pacific and Indian Ocean part are also warming day by day. So these are the proofs of climate change that it was never before, but recent it is happening. Now I will give you another example for climatic variability in western part of India. You will see that as per the trend, the 2022 data is showing that this region, this arid region, is facing more and heavy rainfall in this region. And in southern part of the Gujarat state also, these are the most heavy rainfall areas. And the temperature is going like this. Now, cyclonic events in South Asia 1992 to 2024, you will see decadal variability of tropical cyclone. If we will focus on the 2012 to 2021 data, there are total number of cyclones in Arabian Sea 18. But if we see as the data of 2024 itself, it is depression developed, the 12 depression developed in the region in a single year. So where it is the 9 to 10 years, almost 10 years duration, it is only 18. And the last year, we have faced 12 depression events. So see the severity and see the changing the climate over the region. So different research articles is showing this kind of data as a proof of the climate change. But is it challenging for us? The answer will be yes or not at all. But the proof where we will get the severe cyclonic storms in the Bay of Bengal notably increased threefold during 2011 to 2020 compared to 1 to 2010. So 2001 to 2010, the intensity of cyclones threefold over the Bay of Bengal. And in case of Arabian Sea, the intensity of cyclones in the Arabian Sea increased by 20 to 40% between 2000 and 2019 compared to the prior 2 decades. In case of Bay of Bengal, a significant rise in tropical cyclone energy intensity in the North Indian Ocean, with 8 of the 10 most active years occurring since 2000. Now, we'll discuss the risk assessment and vulnerability, when the scale of the cyclone is increasing, then the severity of the index will change. When it is like this, it will green signaling, and when it is like this, it will defining the yellow signaling. When the broader the area, that will create a orange alert, and then it is bigger cyclonic area, then it is alarming the red. When or more bigger, then it will create a red alert. And when it is combining with microbial element, then it may be a positive impact or there will be a negative impact. That we'll discuss in the next slide. How the emerging cyclonic patterns, the climate change is altering cyclonic patterns of South Asia, and how the risk is varying over the arid and semi-arid region. Arid zones like Northwest India, Pakistan, and Afghanistan are at risk. communities lack infrastructure and disaster preparedness, increased cyclonic events threaten water security and stability of the region. This raises risks for ecosystem, water resources, and vulnerable populations in dryland areas. So these are the threatening situations. The biodiversity of Southeast Asia has been under threat over the past decade, as per the scientific study. The biodiversity of South Asia is expected to decline between 13% and 85% by 2100, as per the research Sodhi et al. In 2010. As per the Hobbs 2017 research article, the main threats include habitat loss and degradation owing to extensive logging and agricultural expansion and hunting pressure over the arid and semi-arid region. Natural forests have been degraded both in lowland and 50% loss over the past 20 years. Namkhan et al. As per the 2020 research, and as per the Malhi et al. 2020 research, climate change represents an additional global threat to natural habitat, ecosystems, and biodiversity stability in the long-term cases. Another case study done by me and B. Gupta the last year, where I have performed two practices. There's the NDVI analysis over the Kutch region of Gujarat state and the Rajasthan state. You will see in case of 2003, the vegetation distributions like this, and after 18 years, the situation is like this. There is much more vegetation, and you can see the increased vegetation over the region during 19 years. Though these are the arid and semi-arid region of India. And in case of Rajasthan state, you will see the vegetation index is also going high. So it is defining that the climate is changing and the vegetation is increasing over the desertic region. So it's not a good thing. It may be a good thing for the region that the temperature will low and the favorable condition will happen, the fertile soil will develop, but as well as there will be threat also, because the desert ecosystem has its own parameters and the characteristics, and the wet and humidity based ecosystem will have their own and unique ecosystem parameters. So if the transformation is going on, then there will be something different. Now we will see what is happening over the region due to the climate change and the in case of last September, I think the 9th September 2024, mysterious fever kills 12 in 4 days in Gujarat. Another report in the September month, 14 lives, Gujarat state government deployed 50 medical teams to affected areas. Chandipura virus infection detected in Rajasthan, number of cases rises 51 in Gujarat. How does this virus spread? So viral and bacterial infection is increasing day by day. In Rajasthan, there is a newspaper report that the pre-viral symptoms were found, but there is in the blood report they have not found any known virus in the report. So these are the threats. And in case of the outbreak in the Afghanistan, the concern raised over the outbreak of mysterious disease in Afghanistan for one province. So there are several people infected by unknown virus. Now, what kind of ecological impact will affect the region? So we have different types of microbial elements in the ecosystem, and we have to live with them. We need to live with them. So how it is going over the region? As the earth is rotating, and the virus and the bacteria is also rotating with us continuously. Now, there are many structural and non-structural measures for effective disaster management of cyclone due to its formation. As per the health issues, you can see the direct and indirect impacts on climate change on the public health. When the climate change affects the rising temperature and the rising humidity, immediate effects is air pollution, vector diseases, food spoilage, direct health impact, heat stress, heat stroke, and the indirect health impacts is cardiac respiratory diseases, foodborne diseases, vector-borne diseases, When the sea level rise, the coastal surge is happening and the coastal flooding also happening, the potential drowning and the indirect health impact is damage to the coastal health facilities, reduce the access to health services. In case of the drought, we are not talking about the drought rightly, but the temperature when the climate is changing, the temperature will go high in the summer season, then limited fresh water for food production and undernutrition condition will happen in the indirect health impact. But what do you think on microbial growth or expansion over this region? Any biological warning to us? This is the main and very important question. Now, when the microbes interact with the human being, there will be a minimum risk or there will be high risk. So if the risk is high, then how to develop a climate resilient health system? So we have to follow the environmental risk management system, climate smart health programming, emergency preparedness and management, more research on the region, communication development, capacity development, public health service and systems in increasing the public health services and the systems, cross-sectoral governance and the collaboration, and integrating risk monitoring always. Another kind of study is going on and the report has been published in the new drug delivery system to fight superbugs. In Gujarat, you will find during the 2021 to 2024, there are dengue cases in 2021. 2021, the dengue case was 10,000, about 6,622, and around 7,200 cases in 23. So almost in these 3 years, the total number of the 10, 16, and that almost 24,000 cases observed in last 3 years. Gujarat was heavily affected by COVID-19 also, and the second wave in the 2000. Here in this case, we will see, we will know very well that the corona, after passing the corona time, the COVID-19 has given a relation to us, and we have known, we had got information about the viral mutation process. And the second wave, third wave, we observed in the several regions around the world. There are bacterial diseases also, tuberculosis, the typhoid, leptospirosis, and bacterial diseases common in rural and flood-prone areas of Gujarat. Leprosy is another seasonal illness, often reported after heavy rains and flooding. So press bureau report is showing this kind of parameters. Now, in another case, the forest ecosystem vulnerability due to climate change. As per the report by the CTS NAIR in the year 2011, it has been shown the annual change in forest area. So this is a almost 13 years old data, but it is showing that the climate is changing and the forest is decreasing worldwide. In Asia case also, it is decreasing. In South Asia cases, it is also decreasing. Per year, -7 hectares per year, it is decreasing. So these are the threatening situation over the region. Now, so do we have control over the rainfall? Do you have control over the temperature? Do we have control over the cyclone? We should always think positively. If we get any kind of situation, so we have to fight against the situation and create a space for the human being. In the last 2024, there are significant weather events happened worldwide. You see, these are the events happened due to high temperature, due to cyclonic, due to heavy rainfall. These areas, heavy rainfall in Persian Gulf region and extreme rain storm in the broadly about 2 years of prediction in 24 hours. So these are happening. We don't expect that in desert region or semi-arid region, we will get maximum rainfall. But it is happening in recent days. So there is something. And now, what next? What we will do? In case of restoration and management, we should stay with the virus, microorganism. We should stay with the different kinds of climatic events, flood, landslide, each and everything. We should stay with them, and we will balance everything in a proper manner with using proper policies. The World Meteorological Organization's bodies on tropical cyclone monitoring. New Delhi is the next station. Another station is in New Delhi. For another station located in the Tokyo, the Honolulu, and the La Reunion, Nadi, and the Miami. These are the panel on tropical cyclones. And in Tokyo, in this area, this is called the Typhoon Committee, the Hurricane Committee in the American part of the Northern America and Southern America. These are the Hurricane Committee. And in Southern Africa part, that is La Union, that is Tropical Cyclone Committee also. And Tropical Cyclone Committee in this Australian region, and this also Nazi region. So what kind of triggering factors for flood? When the heavy rainfall is occurred in a specific region, then the flood kind of thing will happen. So due to the excessive rainfall runoff, discharge capacity of the land, soil, it depends on the soil textile properties, elevation from the main sea level, area under restriction, water resources management plan, and infrastructure development plan. It will depend. The flood is depend on the weather and climate parameters, how it is distributed over the particular vegetation cover, the particular soil conditions, within a particular bioregion, and within the demographic density, with the help of drainage density. Now, when we have the situations like that, the climate is changing, the biodiversity region is also shifting, and there the several kind of threats is there. This map is showing the different hotspot areas, biodiversity hotspot around the world. So if we are focusing on this region, the southwest region, South Asian part of this arid and semi-arid part, there will also a hotspot in biodiversity cases with this area, and this is the area, the orange case of biodiversity hotspot area around the southeast region. So we have we always follow the two options behind to manage the ecosystem. That's the option A, idea A or idea B. So when the option A will not work, then we will use the option B. So we should keep ready both the options, option A, option B. And for the management of part, we are using early warning system applications to increase the awareness. There are several types of windy application. Windy application is there, global forecasting system is there, and ECMWF also portal also helping us to monitor the current real-time weather situation. Even Mosam IMD, Indian Meteorological Department also giving a platform to monitor the weather phenomenon over the region. And also Zoom Earth also free. These are all the free of cost portals access. So we can access over this there, and we can assume we can take a decision that whether the cyclone is coming or the whether rainfall is happening in which area and how much it will affect the area. So we'll get every information from this portal. And various satellites that are used for weather forecast. No, it is happening that the various satellites used for weather forecast and geostationary satellite and the polar orbiting satellite. Orbit restricts the data provided, cloud movement, and the thunderstorm tracking, cyclone monitoring, real-time imagery, and every 5 to 15 minutes, polar orbiting. And now you will see that the polar orbiting satellite also giving us the opportunity. So satellite sensor data types, cloud cover, surface temperature and radiation balance in the visible and infrared radiometer images. And in case of microwave radiometers, the crucial for cyclonic intensity estimation. The sounders sensors also profiles of temperature and humidity. The scatterometer also provides us the surface wind speed and the direction over the ocean. And the sea surface height radar altimeter also provide the sea surface height and wave height and ocean circulation monitoring data. Now, the weather forecast model, different kinds of weather forecast model, which will help to forecast the weather. There are several types of forecasting models, that is statistical models, dynamical models, global climate models, and regional climate models, Earth system models, hybrid models, empirical and dynamical models, machine learning and AI-based models in the emerging areas. Climate forecast model with advanced geospatial technology, you see the different types of statistical, this type of model type, and they are theory-based. Statistical techniques, the relationship between climate variables, that is temperature, rainfall, pressure, and patterns, etc. Limitations as their conditions change due to the global warming, and it will work simple and fast. But when the global warming is happening, this model will not helpful at all. Some cases it will be helpful. In the GCM model, you will see that based on the fundamental laws of physics, conservation of mass, energy, and momentum, numerical solve, and the equation governing atmospheric parameters and also circulation. So there are several types of models and their implications to create. Now, the SWOT analysis, the strength, weakness, and opportunity of this type of study, growing research about this. Now, the growing research on regional climate variability and the cyclonic improve the satellite monitoring and remote sensing, regional cooperation framework. These are the strengthening point, increasing awareness among the policymakers and communities about climatic resilience. Now, the weaknesses, the limited ground-based observational infrastructure in arid and semi-arid zones, high dependence on agriculture vulnerable to cyclonic disruptions, lack of localized climate models for semi-arid and South Asia. And another weakness is inadequate disaster management preparedness in rural areas also. As an opportunity, we will find the advancement in climatic modeling and AI-driven cyclone forecasting, international collaboration on climate adaptation and early warning systems, investment in climate resilient infrastructure, drought and cyclone proof, scope for renewable energy, solar, wind, and adaptation in arid regions. And the threat, the most important, intensification of tropical cyclones due to warming Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, rising sea surface temperatures, accelerating cyclogenesis frequency, desertifications, water scarcity, increasing alien microbial elements cause the viral and bacterial infections to human beings over the region, high population density in vulnerable coastal area transition zone, that is Gujarat and Sindh. So there are several types of threatening also. So this is the SWOT analysis about the topic. And finally, we will go to the conclusion that we have several kinds of threats and positive and negative impact, but we should keep running with the situations and with any kind of situation. The climate change is intensifying cyclogenesis in South Asia's arid and semi-arid region, that is Pakistan, Northwest India, Afghanistan, areas historically less prone to cyclones, rising sea surface temperature in the Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal, enhance evaporation and energy availability, increasing both intensity and geographic spread of cyclones. This shift heighten the vulnerability in dryland communities that lack robust infrastructure, water security, disaster preparedness. As a result, the ecosystem, water resources, and local population in previously low-risk zone now face significant threat from the extreme weather events. So this is the conclusion about this. And finally, I will conclude with this. I would like to thank the Emirati Society of GIS and Remote Sensing and the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center, United Arab Emirates, for giving me this opportunity to speak on the cyclogenesis process topic, and honored to interact with the distinguished scholars, professionals, and students around the globe. My sincere thanks also go to our Gujarat University for its continued encouragement and academic collaboration. This platform has been truly inspiring, and I greatly valued the exchange of knowledge and perspective it has fostered. So that's all from my side. Thank you so much for your